you.
Man, I forgot about that. Okay. There goes our points. No. We have a parachute came in, right? And can you give me one of our bulkheads? The one over there. Oh, there was one here. We have our bulkheads already completed. And we have our charge rolls. I know last year we had one of y'all said that our charge roll was too thick. We're gonna trim it down this year again to make sure we have less space, but basically our bulkheads are. Right. And our igniters, we're still using the same igniters from last year. And our new parachute, because last year our parachute was basically was too old and had too many holes in it. You have any questions so far regarding recovery?
Yeah, how is the electronics mounted sled?
Yes, it's gonna be on sort of a sled, but last year we had a rectangle sled, but this is gonna be circular. So it's gonna be parallel with our bulkheads. It's gonna be on a aluminum sled.
You better check the orientation Farsa.
Okay.
It has an accelerometer, and I believe it's looking for a vertical, not a horizontal orientation.
I can check on
Mm,
because it's gonna be
The Marsa should be vertical.
yeah, the parcel is gonna be vertical. But they didn't have our check if that cabinet if our current
Can
section
you show me? Do you have any of this done?
it's on the machine shop right now. It's gonna be done this week. It's not there. Yeah, it's gonna be shop still. No, we don't have it with us right now. Yeah, it is still in the machine shop. Let's see. Anything else?
Yeah, what else can you show me? Because you haven't really shown me anything.
Yeah, Oliver, are they on their way over there?
Yeah, they're bringing it this way.
Yeah, right now, you guys are ready.
I'm sorry?
Said right now you're not ready.
Mhm.
At this stage of the game, I should be able to look at a completed rocket from nose cone to the end.
Mhm.
And all you're doing is showing me pieces and parts.
Right, it's not completed as of yet. The rocket's not completed at this state of point. There's still manufacturing going on during this moment, and a lot of that's due to the availability of the machine shop. So we have bulkheads done, we have mounts that are currently being CNC'd as we speak, and the tubes are done. They were on the lathe because they were getting sanded down. But there is still manufacturing going on because of our semester schedule. We are on track to finish.
When do you expect to finish?
Well, we plan to test at Seymour, so Texas Shootout. So we should be there for Shootout within a couple weeks. Classes are done now as of today. So it's just machining, and finishing up with the nose cone and testing in a few weeks from now. So end of May, we should be done and already have a flight.
25th.
25th, yeah.
25th and 26th.
Peter, since you've been
Yeah.
mentoring, what's your feeling on this? I
So
mean, right now, you know,
there's nothing for you.
Go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt you.
There's nothing for you to look at. You're right about that. My experience with this team is when I first met them, they were still finishing their fin fixes, a week before a competition, and they flew. They made Seymour last year. I have confidence in the team that they'll make Seymour this year. How Ezra wants to handle the fact that you don't have a rocket to look at, that's on you. That's your decision. But I know they'll have a rocket by June. I know they'll have it by late May too.
Connor, you're the FOR.
Since I'm the FOR and I've been working with range safety, this whole meeting was supposed to be about the safety of the rocket and our eyes to launch for you guys to launch. since everything is still not pretty much manufactured for us to look at, it's hard to say if we will be comfortable with the launching in June. But this is all up to Ben because he's your range safety reviewer. If he wants to possibly meet up when everything's manufactured, which I know will be past the deadline of May 19th, probably, we could try meeting up again soon.
That works.
Yeah, I think this meeting was prematurely scheduled.
Yes.
Are you
Um,
guys in your finals week this week or next week?
Yes, it's this week. Just this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our last day of class is actually today, so a lot of students have been in and out, been able to go in whenever they can. But currently, yeah, this is our finals week.
Hey, Connor.
Okay.
Well, one of the things we need to do on our reports 1 through 3 is get the class schedule. Because
Yes.
you know, this is not the only team that's, you know, we're asking them to do a lot of stuff. Where I would say 99.9% of the colleges and universities have exams scheduled, let alone do what
Yep.
we require them to do. So it's a major crunch. Okay. Why don't we do this? Is
Hey,
it
Brian.
reasonable to reschedule this to next week? I do have some time next week that we could do this. Will you be far enough along to be able to show me stuff or not? Next week's pretty busy, but I mean, I can definitely make it. I can't do Friday next week. That's blocked out completely, so I could do Monday. Well, Monday's not gonna buy much. Probably later in the week would be best for you. What's your thought? Peter, if you've had an interaction with the team, you know now your gut feel is they're probably going to be able to make it. My gut feel is just let it go. I would like to, and I'm sure Connor would also see something.
Yeah,
Before-
yeah, that's I would be of the same mind. Ryan, do you have the FinCan done that they can see you?
So currently we have the body tubes right here. So you have the coupler, body tube, forward tube. We have the nose cone mold printed right over here. So you can bring that this way.
Did you roll your own tubes? Are those your own tubes or did you buy them?
We made them. Yes, we laid them up.
Have you done a pressure test on them?
Not yet. No,
I mean a compression test. I'm sorry. Have you done a compression test?
not as of yet. No, we're still waiting for some of the bulkheads to be able to mount them onto our MTS.
This is
Okay.
the second year that they've made composite tubes in-house and flown them.
Okay.
And we have our fins here as well.
It's also the second year they've made their own nose cone.
In the third year, they'll make their own motor.
Hey, we'll
You
see.
never know.
I've had
You
that
got that one
conversation
right.
with them already.
I don't doubt that. You know,
These were just made a couple weeks ago. They still need to be cut and beveled.
yeah, understand.
And so we have all our fins ready to go. We're working on a so what we usually do with this, flip it around. We have the fin slots here. What we will do is sandwich the fins with 2 aluminum centering rings, and we're using aluminum because we changed our motor. So we were currently running a Cicerone M34, and because of the shortage, we're running an M6000. So a lot of mass increase on the aft end, and so we're gonna be moving away from wooden centering rings and switching to aluminum. And then we have all threads that go through and basically hold the piece together. So we'll be able to slide in the fins, the centering rings, and then epoxy them within the inside, and then have the motor tube in the middle, and then cap off the end with a thrust plate.
Um, By the way, there's nothing wrong with wooden center cranks.
Right,
Just-
right. It's more so a mass decision rather than
But you're already, but the M6000 is heavier than the one you originally put, so you're putting more mass down at the wrong end. You're putting CG towards or do you have a high stability that you're fighting?
we currently have with the motor on there, it is a kind of a high stability. So we are adding a little more on the aft end, and it brings us with a polished finish. It should bring us roughly currently at do you have the number off the top of your? I think it's 9,100 around there. So it should be
What's your, okay,
Mhm.
okay, what's thrust to weight ratio?
predicted is roughly I want to say 15 to 1. 15 to 1. Yeah, we just confirmed.
Okay, okay, and you're off the rail speed?
I believe it's 109 feet per second.
Okay, and your descent speed under drogue?
Should be around 90 to 99 around there.
Okay, all right, that's all within spec.
Yeah.
Do you have the reload and do you have the case?
So we ordered the reload. We do have the case. We're still waiting for it to come in. So given a couple weeks, it should be
Yes,
in.
a couple weeks.
We should have the reload for the test and also for Spaceport.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's um this is a tough one.
Sure. I mean,
Because I thought, because you know, the fact that final have ended, and I take it the team is still going to be pretty much together over the next couple of weeks, so you can actually finish it, right? Nobody. What about internships and all that sort of stuff? No internships.
there
or-
is some internships, but we've got it covered. We already know what we're gonna go over, what we're gonna manufacture, so everybody's in the loop.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Okay. Proceed with haste, but safely.
Okay.
Um, and I think if possible, can you provide Connor, myself, and Peter with some construction pictures
Sure. Absolutely.
as you put this thing together?
Sure.
Okay. If we don't see progress being made, then probably count on another conference call.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think we need to schedule another one. But if he can provide us with some pictures and show us the progress, then I don't have a problem. And obviously your major break point will be whether you get to fly in Texas or not.
Yes.
Because you'll either be ready or you won't be ready,
Precisely.
right? And then
And
with
for
Peter,
the video recording, you want to go over your altimeter choices and GPS real quickly?
yeah, I will. Let me get there first, okay? All right. Okay. All right. Let's do as Peter said. Let's go ahead and go over the your choices for your altimeter. They
Okay.
already said that. They're going to use the Marsa and the Stratoger, right?
Yeah. we have them.
And according to their report too, they're using Big Red V maybe or something like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Big Red V.
Yeah, we have all our altimeters already.
Yeah, what I like now, you don't need to show them to me. I have them.
Oh.
From my perspective, what I want to see is mounted on a sled. I want to see the wiring, and I want to understand how it works. Okay, individual components, which you can't show me now because you don't have it mounted. Okay, you can show me individual components, but it don't mean anything. Okay, so from a safety perspective, I've got to see a rocket, and I've got to see it mounted. I've got to see shock cords. Which, by the way, was the length of your shock cords?
It's 40 feet and 30 feet.
Okay. 30 feet at apogee or 40 at apogee?
I'm sorry.
30 feet at apogee or 40 feet at apogee?
Uh, I believe it's 30 feet at apogee and 40 at main.
You may want to switch that around.
Okay.
Give yourself some extra length there to slow that big payload that's up front down.
Okay.
That thing that weighs 8.5 pounds up there.
Right.
So, and even some people have been recommending 50 feet based on failures that have occurred at Spaceport because teams didn't give enough length to slow things down. So 40 feet, 50 feet, sounds good. 30 feet for a parachute, probably pretty good. On
Okay.
that end. You know, without saying things. Be prepared when you come to New Mexico. Obviously, the rocket will be ready for that, and be prepared to take it apart, and be prepared to have wires tugged and pulled and shaken and lots of things. So, okay.
Okay.
Any questions for what? And this goes for Peter, and this goes for Connor. Any questions for me?
Specifically, going back to what you were saying about sending you pictures, is there parts that you would like to see in particular, as far as like, I know you mentioned the recovery sled. Is there anything else in particular that you would like to see that we can send you?
Everything.
Everything. Okay.
So
Don't-
specifically, I'd recommend the harness attachment points for recovery bulkheads.
Yep.
The filleting, internal filleting of fins, especially considering you have your motor mount assembly is going to be moved in from the rear. It should be very easy to show how everything is properly filleted prior, and then once you do slide it in, filleting the top with the airframe inside of it, and then the external fillets, and then that's mainly on the up and the down. Wiring, making sure that you have twisted twin pair wiring for EMF protection, making sure that everything has proper quick connects if necessary, so that integration's easier. And also making sure that the payload is securely mounted.
Yeah. And I'll follow up with the battery mounts, how your batteries are mounted.
That you're
Yeah.
using the COTS batteries.
Better known as literally everything.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. If you assemble the rocket and you start taking it apart, show us assembled rocket and then show us as you're taking it apart.
Okay.
And all the important points like recovery hard points, electronics, as Peter mentioned, how that fin can is put in place, how the motor is retained, all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So-
We can follow up with that.
Perfect. And I will be looking forward to those. I'll pass a couple of things on. You don't need to bring a tent and stuff this year, as we'll provide tents at the area there. We're literally going to tent the holding lot with professional tents.
Nice.
So that way you won't have to duck a tent as it goes flying by in the wind, as has happened in the past. You will need to bring your own chairs and obviously anything else that you need to support the flight, right? On that
Okay.
end of it. But you don't have to bring tables, you don't have to bring tents. We are going to try something different at the convention center, and it's going to follow to the field also. When the team registers, you're going to get a pager. Okay. And so that when the people are registration, you'll get a pager, right? So for flight safety checks, you will not have to go stand in line and wait in the hallway. Instead, you'll be back out in the convention area out there talking about rocket stuff, and we'll page you to come have your rocket safety,
Okay.
for instance. Okay. I don't know all the logistics of how that's gonna happen, but that's the plans. And the same thing will follow through at the launch site. The pager will follow you out to the field. And you will be paged to come for your final safety. I don't know if payload's gonna page or not, but, and that kind of stuff. So we're trying to give you all the shade we can possibly give you with the tents, and we're trying to make sure you don't stand in the sun any more than you have to. Okay, so queuing will be the same way. You'll be paged and you'll come up to the queue and be ready to go out, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so
Okay.
hopefully that will make things easier on you and easier on us, and more organized, than it has been in the past. On that end of it, okay. Um, your SRAD, that's right, your COTS. So you'll wind up out on the regular pads out there. There's gonna be, I don't know, is there 30 of them? I keep hearing
It's a
all kinds of
multiple of
different
8, so I think they do 2 banks of Wilson FXs, at the very least, maybe 4. And so it's either
Yeah,
it's either
I
6. It's got to be 32.
yeah, I think it's 32.
I
I don't know
know
for sure.
in January they were thinking about adding more rows this year.
Right, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, but there will be plenty of company out there on the end of it. So, um, okay. So I'll flip it around again and ask Connor or Peter or the team if they have any more questions.
How many how much tent area are they going to be given? How many tables? And or what if you have they don't have a trailer, but I have another team that has a trailer. How are they
Uh,
handling trailers?
my understanding is 2 tables. Connor, is that your understanding?
It should be 2 tables in the same size of space as last year,
Right. Which was the 10 by
which I think
12,
was 10 by 20.
10 by 20.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Is that the single allotment for a small team, or do larger teams get more?
If they have more than I think 30 people, they'll have double the space.
Okay. And what are the sizes of the table? Are they 6 foot or 8 foot?
I'll quit asking these questions. I honestly
I
don't know. I hadn't seen it. Have you?
I haven't heard anything about the table length, but I'm assuming the standardized 8-foot table
Yeah, I think that's probably good
that
guess.
we could rent.
Hey, if you think you need more tables, toss them in the trailer.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
nothing to prevent from bringing an extra table or 2. Okay.
Never hurts.
Is it the
No,
same
never.
pager?
Yeah, especially if you have the transportation room.
Is
People
it
coming internationally don't necessarily have that kind of flexibilities.
Hmm.
So on
is
that end
the
of it.
safety pager the same one that you use the field, and are we giving back the pager to be recharged?
Don't know the question. Don't know the answer to that, but I assume if it's like a restaurant, you would give it back.
Okay.
And as far as I know, there's only 1 per team. So somebody's gonna have to keep it on themselves and be responsible for it.
Now I want to talk about pressure vent holes for your altimeters. Have you already drilled those out?
We're actually going to do that today. So
Okay.
we have the key switch holes, and then we're gonna have the Stratologger vent holes along that as well.
And the Marsa requires vent holes too.
The Marsa as well, yes. Mhm.
And what size of vent holes are you guys going to go with? And how
Half
many?
inch. Half inch, and I think we have 3 vent holes.
3 vent holes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
What's the for the eBay coupler? What is the total length that's the electronics bay is in? Like, what's the total volume of that bay?
Do you know the off the top of your head? I don't know.
Because this is like a 6-inch rocket.
Yeah, it's 6.5-inch rocket. So we have
Okay.
so total volume. I think it's an 18-inch coupler. So it's quite a lot.
Yeah,
A lot in there.
Okay. Yeah, that would explain why it's 1/2 inch.
That band's
Don't tell
really
us the machine shop really has epoxy on it.
Oh,
Yeah, don't test a coupler. Just like
okay.
okay. Okay, and it's at least one body diameter from one end to one end of the switch band.
Yes, it is. I believe so, yeah.
It looks like it's even more than that, but yeah, okay.
I believe it's like 1 and 1.2. 1.2.
Have you spec'd out shear pin sizes?
I'm sorry.
Have you spec'd out what size of shear pins you're going to use?
Shear pins, last year, well, this is basically a clone of the rocket that we had last year. Last year we used, I believe, was it 1/8 shear pin size, Marcos?
1/4.
1/4 shear pin size.
Good size
Yeah.
shear pins.
Are you using 440s or quarter inch?
Can we see the back?
256.
I'm sorry, it's 256. 256 size shear pins.
250.
Right.
Okay, well, but you will be ground testing, so.
Yeah.
You'll be able to go from there.
Yes.
To be honest with you, it sounds a little small, but you know, depends on what's going on, so.
We increased the amount of shear pins last year at competition, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe someone had a concern about the shear pins. And so we increased it to 12, didn't we? To 12 shear pins.
12,
Yes.
you sure?
Was it
For
12?
each separation point.
Or
For
for total?
separation?
I believe for each separation.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, normally it'd be like 6.
Okay,
Or
maybe
more.
it's the other, yeah.
Maybe it's
My
6 on
memory's a little blurry on it, but it should have been 12 in total, so. So we would
So
have had
when you're
12 for,
using the 256
That would be
shear
6.
pins, it's really important that they're all lined up
Mhm.
so that it doesn't zipper. If you have smaller nylon screws, and they're not aligned, all the force is going to be on one of them.
okay,
And so it just goes 1, 2, 3 and pops open.
okay.
So you might want to look at like using 440s, which are a little bit stronger. You need a more aggressive charge to pop them, but then you don't have to worry as much about hammering out the parachute like what happened at Seymour last year.
Right. Okay.
And
440s.
PEM nuts are your friend. At least
You
they'll
might
be
be down.
consistent.
Yes, we can get 440s.
Yeah, I can get 440s. That'll be good. Those are hard to get.
Well, what you do, whatever you get, ground test.
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
You don't ground test at 256 and arrive
And
at the.
talk to campus safety first.
No, we're not. We're gonna get in trouble with the police again.
We're doing it off campus this time, okay?
Even better.
I mean, the only issue.
Private
yeah,
ranch,
Yeah.
okay? No one's gonna.
Maybe not aim the rocket with black powder in it at a church.
I don't know what you're talking about here. This is a recorded meeting. I'm not sure what you're
I
referring
was gonna say, yeah, why don't you go ahead and stop the recording? We've gotten to the point of no return. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Again, pictures.
I'll send pictures.
Peter,
100%, yep.
Peter and Connor, you guys are gonna have to make the decision as the flow goes through. Hopefully we'll see them in New Mexico. But the Seymour launch is pretty important, so.
Precisely.
Okay. All right, I'm not gonna ask the question again. Okay. Peter, Connor, you guys good?
I'm
As good as
good.
we can.
You're good.
Yeah, as good as we can be. Okay, guys. Look forward to seeing you. In about 6 weeks. And we'll go from
Yeah.
there.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you,
No
Connor.
problem.
Thank you.
This recording to you, or
To the secretary.
The email I sent out, there was a place you send it to. But what you're gonna do is just post the recording on a shareable drive somewhere and just send us the link.
okay?
Okay? Look forward to the pictures.
Thank
Got
you. Will do.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.